Narrator, you probably not know who I am. The author insert character giving you information because the author wants to give you context as difficult to write, and here goes the story of SCP Compete. Jeremy, oh, I can't wait. Narrator girly, he's trying to get his newest version of a game, but he's far out in Alpha Centauri. Jeremy, it's finally here, it's downloaded. Yes, time to go, all the new story element, and better AI narrator. He's a boy in the first days of the colonization effort in the solar system of Alpha Centauri. It was proven not to be very safe, so people live in space habitats. Some large metropolitan cities are cabin in the woods. He currently lives in a cabin in the woods. He's about 25 years old. Currently he's about to practice a new game simulation. Jeremy, time to go 123. Wow, this is a magical place. Game AI, welcome. This is the game room ABC. It's a museum, some of the most famous anomalies in the articles. This is only a fraction of all of the different articles that have been gained. This game below holds 4,000 unique SCP articles. But you know the SCP key holds over 3 million entries. But here's the game scenario selection. Narrator, there are 14 different classes, though there are only 4 within these stories frame mat that will be truly important: the way of the warrior foundation, the way of the researcher foundation, the way of the sorcerer and the way of the fighter Gok. Jeremy, I will pick the warrior. Game AI, the power of door is the path of death. The warrior was a marine soldier. He was strong over here than most of his peers, 6 feet tall. He was the only one who survived that would cause so much mess. The US government knew by 1916 war was inevitable, so wanted to find a way to fight against German monsters, create a secret project. One of the security forces chosen for his loyalty and his power against a creature that they would call 001. As the creature formed, it would have the ability to shape ship into anything it wanted. But they never were able to follow orders, have respect, sanity. But they were able to put in that killing intent, narcissism, and superiority complex. But not for America, for itself. It was too late when it crystallized, as it took form to become a brownish and reddish devil. It consumed and destroyed everyone at the facility except for one. It was able to escape before he could be the next meal. Escape to the SCP Foundation stepped in. The early days for the Foundation at this time was scrappy. They were formed at the Civil War, and they gained global influence, but not strong influence in places like America and South-European countries, though places like colonies, where they ask wealth with no rules or restrictions. It was the biggest project the Foundation has ever applied themselves to. They applied all of their forces. Red Right Hand went first to the monster. The monster decided to leave. It was barely affected, but it felt something had changed, and he decided he should have more form, more knowledge to take as reinforcement of basically all the Foundation military mobile task forces came in. The Battle of Expunged City became. The battle was so big that the city was completely destroyed. It was the largest city in America. It was wiped off the face of the history books. The landmass of America itself changed to cover up the entire city's existence. Used to be a port city larger than New York, all the other largest cities combined. 7 million perished under the monster grasp, though they were able to get the monster its first painful experience, true pain, as its soul rattled in pain. It decided to leave. Later you were interviewed and the Foundation decided to hiring you as to the monster. It had a connection. It decided to let you live, as it decided that you were going to be its greatest enemy, and if you killed it, you would win. It's a game. You get a few leveling cards, not to level the game, but to make the game last a little bit longer before it arrogance. It will obviously when you gain immortal, as long as your head is not destroyed first, you can regenerate your entire body. You also have Greek god-like levels of strength. The Foundation tests your strength again and again, and they figure out no limit. You can throw a ball into the higher atmosphere. You find out that if you really pushed yourself, get into orbit, you have super speed. But it's kind of like a mode as to being power rattles within you when you move that fast, and your mind slowly gets violated until it takes over. So you have a time limit, depending on how fast you go, and you have insane durability, strong enough to walk off bulletproof damage, though some high caliber rounds can puncture skin. You, the player, will be transported to the closest point where you meet the monster that you have to kill. Jeremy, okay, transport me now. Narrator, he gets transported into the world. He needs some monster at a distance and the monster runs towards him. But God, fire releases, laser rounds, 2 magic spells, 3. Jeremy, thank you for saving me from the monster. Foundation agents, what is that thing? Jeremy, I can only say a sooner amount, but we get that thing to die before he goes to a population center. We're only 40 miles near to the largest city in the entire continent. Foundation agent, you're coming with us. We already got reinforcements. Narrator, the Foundation would say to the heroes of the Forgotten who kill the beast, get the knowledge of the only people in the world to remember what happened. Early retirement for all of you, as they would be able to live. Farm ranches 1,100 left out of 20,600 that fought the battle. Of course, a good old Foundation cover-up. The beast was never killed, only a deal that will kill the beast through its only individual that gives the ability to possibly endanger its life. Foundation interrogator, you were given the US government permission to inform us upon your experience. Jeremy, it was a monster. If you already got the connections, you already know it was created to survive any weapon man throw at it, absorb the flesh of the dead and absorb their memories, and forms that does that it could absorb the memories by just looking at them, but it needs to eat them in order to absorb their memories, or powers. It was supposed to be unstopped against the German monsters, as a miracle was preparing for the inevitable declaration of war, was going to be set in about 2 to 3 months, and one being shipped to front lines, and it would be the end of the war by the day. It take form too early, couldn't get the ability of empathy, or at least loyalty to United States, the narcissism but not the loyalty. It also has abilities, it can outpour us but usually did not very effective, especially on strong-willed adult individuals, so we stand out tubes, strange tentacles, and injected into an individual, the microscopic and visible to the human eye. But once they're plugged in a takeover, I'm the rare individual that decided to be. I'm part toy, and part of something else I don't know. Foundation agent. Well, I'm going to give you a small few tests. Narrator found out the same abilities that have been explained before. They also found close to his true nature, kind of between a toy and equal, so he has a potential rivaling. The creature is a toy, that is, the creature wins, he can crush, and he dies, written down to his genetic code. Jeremy, oh, I love SCP role plays, and I love this dream set. Your character deactivate and you're just a void. I got 20 minutes before another episode comes out. I'm gonna get ready. Epilogue. Narrator, the path of the story is going to be a roleplay simulator. The path of the warrior and the path of the sorcerer, and the role of the fighter are at some level roleplay paths which are paths in the game, where you mostly have to follow. The storyline beats, or massive, penalties, or simulation altering events happen to get you back on track. The path of the warrior will end with the final battle. The path of the sorcerer will end if either the fall or day rise of the new era. The gotch path will end with retirement after entire life with the gotch. The path of the researcher is the only path where there are no beats, except for that there are some penalties if you're off character, but after that, you can defect from the Foundation, create error Foundation, control, or anonymous control, end the world doing cults, the flesh worship shippers, or the Scarlet King worshippers as anything natural character, which is endless with the Foundation until the end.